Hello and good morning. Today I have Steve Conley, my longtime friend from Florida Keys. Steve is doing real estate in Florida Keys for many years, and I'm going to have him talk about that. And let's find out the lifestyle and lot of local details about the Florida Keys. Steve, welcome.
Thanks for having me, Sean. It's good to see you again, buddy.
Very good to see you. So let's talk about a little bit about your business, how long you are in the Florida Keys, and also give a little bit details of the Florida Keys, because people think the Florida Keys is like just little place here, but it's a long way. Florida Keys, from starting to the end. Yeah. So let's talk about that, your business, and a little bit about Florida Keys.
Oh, sure. Sean, the Florida Keys is a collection of islands stretching from up near where Florida City and Miami, meet us, all the way down to Key West. And, that stretch of islands is 120 miles long. It can take over 2 hours to make the drive from the Key Largo all the way down to Key West. And it is one of the top 10 scenic drives in the world, I guess, or in the country. And a lot of people take that drive and love it, all the scenery as you go from island to island to island. I've been selling here for, I moved to the Keys in 2009. I was previously selling up in Central Florida, had a real estate company and such. And at a certain point in time, my kids were, I had one in kindergarten and the other in second grade. And it was like, I want to raise my kids in the Keys and the islands. And so we raised our family down here. I've been selling real estate since in the Keys, and I'm a local expert. I know the waterways. I know everything about the islands, and our business is growing and just growing very rapidly as more and more people allow us to serve them.
So, Steve, let's talk a little bit about people who live there. So, what kind of people you see that they're moving to Florida Keys, their lifestyle, their hobbies, and so?
Yeah, it's very interesting. The Upper Keys, which is at Key Largo, Tavernier, and Islamorada, we have full-time residents that raise their families here and business people. We also have a lot of people that have second homes here, and they come on the weekends or they come in the summertime and spend more time here. But we also have people that commute to Miami. Oddly enough, we have a lot of airline employees and pilots that work up at Miami International. They want to live in the Keys. This is serene. It's a peaceful lifestyle here, and they make the drive up to the mainland each day. And it's about an hour and 10-minute commute up there. But for those people, it's worth it. So we have a lot of people that are commuting up to the mainland to work to the city, and then it's like driving into the country. Once you come across the bridge into the islands, you get that nice peaceful feeling because, like I said, it's very serene and peaceful here.
Perfect. So that's good to know. I never knew, even living in Broward County, so close. I never knew that people live in the Upper Keys and they work, in the Miami, in the heart of Miami, Miami Airport or downtown. That's good to know.
Yeah, and it's that's the Upper Keys. As you go further and further south or southwest in the Keys, it changes. The next large area is Marathon. Marathon doesn't have commuters. Marathon is about 50 minutes south of Islamorada by car. And when you get there, it's a lot more transient, a lot more vacation rentals, a lot more seasonal visitors, not as many people that are fully employed or commuting to the mainland. And as you go further south, it becomes more remote. And then, more to the west, you hit Key West. Now, Key West is a great place. Everyone knows about Key West. It's a big party center, a hub of activity. And with the airport there, a lot of people come in, it's vacation there. So that is the stretch of islands. Every one of the islands has its own characteristics. And the Islamorada, where I live, is the fishing capital of the world. The Gulf Stream swings very close to shoreline, and it's big business here. A lot of people fly in to fish offshore, but they also fish the flats in the flat areas in the bay for bonefish and for other, bay type fish.
Wow, that's very, very good information. Now, how many islands you have more or less in the Keys?
Oh, I don't know the exact number. That's a good question. I generally work. The Islamorada is a strip of, I think, seven islands over 17 miles.
Oh.
And then once you leave, further up north from Islamorada, you get into Key Largo, and that's a pretty continuous strip of land. Once you cross Tavernier Creek into Islamorada, then the little dotted islands start picking up. Like I said, everyone has its own characteristic.
Okay. Now, from the mile zero, what we say Key West, to the mainland, when you're touching Miami or Miami-Dade County. So how many miles are those? Like
you're looking at about 128 miles.
Wow.
From one end to the other. Yeah.
And all 128 miles are the islands.
We have bridges too. I mean, we have the 7 Mile Bridge at mile marker 47. So a lot of bridges along the way. But the most amazing part is when you leave Florida City, which is the southernmost part of the mainland, and you head across what we call the stretch. And it's a stretch, of roadway built as a berm through the years. They bermed it up. They built the roadway. And when you cross the last bridge at the end of the stretch, you enter the Keys, and trust me, if you've ever had that feeling when you go up on that high bridge and you can see the ocean in the distance and see everything, when you come down off it, you feel all the pressure of the mainland go away. It's you're in the islands.
Okay, perfect. Now let's talk about someone who love fishing, fishing or the lifestyle, the island lifestyle, beach lifestyle, Keys lifestyle. Now, do they have to how easy to maybe rent a boat over there, and how affordable? Because buying a boat and maintaining is sometimes could be very expensive. So someone have that hobby, but want to live there and maintain that. So give me some insight on that.
Well, there's as far as boating goes, if you're here a lot, owning a boat is obviously the best choice.
Okay.
If you're here once in a while, there's plenty of boat rental companies that rent boats, 26 to 28 foot center console boats that are capable of going, offshore to fish, or just cruising around the bay and stopping in at the restaurants. But a good portion of the people here they'll take advantage of our charter fleet. There's a huge charter fleet in Islamorada that take people offshore each day to fish. There's also a fleet of, the backcountry fishing people, the small flats boats, to take you back fly fishing or back into the shallows for bayside fishing. So, the big business, it's like, the Buzz On down at Bud and Mary's, they're going out every day, catching lots and lots of fish, bringing them in and giving people a great time. It's affordable. I mean, if you go out on the boat alone, it might be a little pricey, but if you have a group of 3 or 4 people, it's a very affordable experience. And I highly recommend getting out and doing that.
Nice. Okay, let's talk about real estate. So do you guys have both single family home and condominiums and all kind of properties? And what kind of price range we looking at on the low side, or on the high side, or luxury side?
It depends a lot on what you're looking for, but homes, most people coming to the Keys are either looking for a home that's on a canal where they can walk out back, have their boat, and hop in the water and go, because that's the lifestyle here. On the weekends, we don't get in the car and drive to the restaurants. We get in our boat and go to the restaurants and pull in at the docks and get out and eat and ride home. So the canal front homes are typically in our market running, starting at around $650, $675, going on up to $8-9 million. So there's a huge variety of property. Most people these days are buying in that 900 to $1.5 million category for canal front homes. Now, condos, on the other hand, condos are very popular because it feels like a resort. You pull in, you park your car, you arrive. Nothing to do, no maintenance at all. And out the back of the condo, usually there's your swim club, the marina. Most of them have marinas where your boat is parked. Some of them actually have dry dock. When you're done visiting, they lift your boat out of the water and put it in a dry rack. But once again, you're living the Keys lifestyle, having your boat right there to go fishing. My wife Terry and I, we like to go out to a sandbar, just throw anchor and just float, just take a little break and get away from the pressure. So boating is very much a part of our lives here. And if you're in the Key Largo area, there's a lot of diving and snorkeling. That's kind of like a dive center up there. And a lot of people have their boats. They don't fish. They actually they go diving. And what a wonderful, way to go enjoy yourself on the water.
All right. Now, in my market, we are in Broward County here. So if someone want to buy, say, a condo over there, and vacation home. So in the lower side, what kind of pricing we're looking at for a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom condo?
A 2-bedroom condo would be starting in probably the 400,000 range.
Okay.
And then going on up from there. In the 400,000 range, you would have dock privileges, but it may not be like an ownership of a slip. As you get into the 800,000 or 900,000 range, then you actually have a dedicated slip that is yours, a boat slip. So the first I mentioned it's called first come, first served dockage, which when you're there, there's a spot for you, but it's not your spot. That's an economical way to get into the Keys and get the lifestyle that people want. But the condominiums, they do go on up, $1.2 million, $1.3 million on the high end. Wow. But generally you can get them in those lower ranges. Sure. Perfect.
Now, so one of the thing, from outside, we know that's the lifestyle there of, fishing, boating, enjoy the life. What about the schooling system? Do you guys have like a good schooling system if someone has kids going to school or college?
Sure. The schools are not, they're not massive numbers of students, but so the kids get a lot of personal attention. The high school will graduate a little over 200 students a year here in the Upper Keys. That's the Coral Shores High School. There's also high school in Marathon. There's also one down in Key West. There's, the middle schools and elementary schools are Plantation Key School, PKS, and Key Largo School. But all of the kids pretty much feed into the Coral Shores High School in our area. There's also some private schools, the Montessori School. There's some charter schools. But in the end, everyone pretty much goes through Coral Shores High, which is a wonderful program. Everyone gets to participate in the sports and the activities there. And because the numbers are not huge, none of the kids get lost in the crowd, which we really liked. And one of the reasons we moved to the Keys was the education. And where we came from in Central Florida, they were graduating classes of 2,500, 2,800 students a year. And when your kid wants to play soccer, there's only 14 spots on the team. When you're in a smaller pond, our kids get more attention and get more experience.
Oh, that's a very good point, actually. Now, when people, moving to or buying a second home or moving to, Florida Keys, what part of the country you see more people are moving from, like New York or Upper Florida?
Yeah, it was, I'd say 5 years ago, it was, up the New England states, up the East Coast, people moving down. We still have that. They actually start coming, the seasonal buyers, they start coming in January, and usually they're here until Easter Sunday, and then they vanish. This year's a little off because of the COVID thing, but they're coming. They're getting their vaccines and coming. But after Easter Sunday, then the market does a shift here. And then we're seeing more East Coast Florida people coming down. Lots of people from the Miami market, from your area, all the way up to Jacksonville. Lots of people from Florida, they're coming here during the summer months to buy. And then we've got the the snowbirds, we call them, from up north and northeast, they're coming in the winter months. So we have two distinct different markets.
Oh, okay. Okay. That's good. That's good to know. Now, as we know, that's a 120-mile stretch of the Florida Keys. Now, how the pricing of the property, like the same property in Upper Keys and same property in the Lower Keys, closer to Key West, what kind of price difference we see?
The Key West is definitely a high-priced area. I mean, real estate is in very short supply there, so it's high-priced. Key Largo is close to the mainland, so it's in high demand. And Islamorada is the small strip of islands. It's lots of restaurants, and the fishing is wonderful and such. So it's a little higher. If you go down the Keys into Marathon, and then below there down into Summerlin Key and Cudjoe Key and such, the other islands, the prices do drop some, but you're also more remote. It's more remote from healthcare, more remote from the airports and activities. And that's perfect for some people. That's what they want. It's really a preference thing. But trust me, as far as getting a property in the Upper Keys, to be able to have a property and have your boat in the backyard and to go live the life in the Keys, relax, or raise your kids on the water, which we did, it's worth every penny of it. Worth every penny of it. So vacation homes down here, a lot of people buy them. They Airbnb, rent them out, or they use the whatever is VRBO, or they use one of our local rental companies, specialized, and then they'll use them just half of the year or 4 or 5 months out of the year. So if you buy a vacation home down here with us, we can definitely set you up with the rental company to get the extra income that you might want to support the expenses.
Perfect. So that's good to know, actually. So as our conversation, part of our conversation is it's always better to buy something in the Upper Keys, so you get that lifestyle, and also you're not disconnected from the mainland. So people can work in Miami-Dade County or do business. So that's very good to know.
Yeah.
How long are you living in Florida Keys? How many years?
I moved down in 2009. Like I said, it's a lifestyle change for my family. We had to make a choice. With kids in kindergarten and second grade, it's either you move them then, or you have to stay where you are until they graduate. And we made a decision that, hey, we wanted to be in the Florida Keys. We had family already down in the Keys, so the move was very easy. And I look back on it and said, man, what a great decision it was to be here. So, Shawn, when you're talking about, buyers down here and such, I mean, oddly enough, in the Fort Lauderdale market, we get agents from Fort Lauderdale trying to come down here and sell homes. And having lived here, and there's a lot of great agents in the Keys that are local, we know the waterways. We know the names of the teachers at school. We know what size boat can go here and what size boat can go there, and what's the best day to get tacos at the such and such taco place. I mean, it's if you're going to move to a place like that, please reach out to one of us that are local agents that can, give you the full service and the great experience that you need, so that when you do move here, there's limited surprises. You've got us to make sure that you have the resources you need.
Yeah, I'll definitely put your Google page and website address in the comments, so people can reach out to you.
Thank you.
The other question I have, definitely from people outside of the state, they have a little bit, they're a little scared about the hurricane and all the stuff. But we know, being here, the hurricane really, a rough hurricane doesn't come average like a once in 10 years or something. So how are you, how do you deal with the hurricane seasons? Like either the mild hurricane or maybe a strong hurricane. So what do you guys do? Like how you take care of yourself?
Well, it's, we're not in fear. I mean, our homes are built, my home is concrete walls, concrete roof, concrete floors. It's up in the air. We have impact glass windows, rated at, I think 170 mile per hour winds.
Wow.
We know it, that the storms come, they pass pretty quick, And, we don't have flooding like a lot of places do because we're on a rock island. The water might come up, but the water goes down very quickly. And, the storms, when you have a storm of the century, like Hurricane Irma came through, it's like 100-year storm. But it's, I guess a lot of people have fear of that, but I think I would fear the tornadoes ripping through town up in the Midwest more, or, the Mississippi flooding and destroying the house with water for 30 days. I mean, it's just part of the lifestyle here. So when buying a home, there's certain things, and I'm also a licensed state home inspector. I don't do inspections, but I have the license to help my buyers. We look at the house. Does it have the impact glass, or does it have rated shutters? Shutters are good too. Is it in the flood zone, below flood? Is it susceptible to flooding, or is it above flood? We look at the home to try to mitigate the risk from damage from those storms. And hey, it gives us a couple of days to have some fun and do cookouts in between the storm waves that come through. So
okay, that's good to know. Yeah, of course. Plus, whenever there's a hurricane coming, like a week before, so you have enough time to prepare yourself. Yeah.
And since the island has an evacuation plan, all the islands they evacuate in series. They have a plan set up, and it's a way to get everyone out if need be. But like I said, the storms are very, very rare, and the damaging storms, and it's just one of those parts of living here. We deal with it.
That's good. Now, let's talk about a little bit about the food, the restaurants, and so of course, we know it's famous for the seafood. Now, if someone like other kind of food other than the seafood, so what kind of restaurants you have over there around, and then what kind of food you have?
Oh boy, we're not short on food. I'll tell you that much. We've got seafood, yes, and I think every place along the roadside has a fried fish sandwich, but you can only have so much of that. So, steaks, Ziggy Mad Dog's Steakhouse in Isla Mirada has some of the most wonderful steaks, white tablecloths, almost like a Chicago steakhouse feel. Very, very nice. We've got Italian Cafe Largo in the lower part of Key Largo is amazing Italian food. Very, very good. There's plenty of sushi restaurants, which we do a lot of sushi here. And you can go to some of the resorts, like Chica Lodge has very, very great food on the water, the dining. It's a great experience. So there's not a shortage of food places here. We have plenty of just outstanding food. So once in a while, I go up to Miami, to the mainland, to go to the Brazilian steakhouse. We don't have that, but we've got pretty much everything else.
Okay, and then I believe like you guys have a lot of authentic food, like a mom and pop restaurant. So you really get like those tasty, authentic food.
Yes, lots of old established restaurants that they have that wonderful breakfast that everyone waits in line for. But most of the restaurants, there's not large chain restaurants here. Everything is pretty much just individual owned. They're restaurants, but we don't have any Red Lobsters or Olive Gardens or anything like that here. Every restaurant here is a unique experience that's you don't really find anywhere else.
Oh, that's very, very good to know. So Steve, there's a lot of great information. Even I'm just 2 hours, not even 2 hours, like 2 hours from you. An hour and a half from you, and I didn't even know a lot of lifestyle, in Florida Keys, and this is very, very good to know. Thanks for giving all the insights.
Oh, great! I appreciate you having me, Shawn, and come on down. I'll show you more about the islands, and we'll go out on the boat, have a look at some properties. It's a great time, and I said there's right now there's a lot of people in town buying, just escaping the city. They're tired of the city. They want a place to retreat to in the Keys. So, come on down, have a look around. You might end up buying down here. You never know.
Yeah. And then, I like that, showing the property or viewing the property on a boat. Mm-hmm. Like, that's great.
Well, you pretty much got to see it from the boat side. That's the most beautiful. The backyards here are beautiful. You can drive by a house and it's not really pretty on the front. Go around back. Everyone focuses on the back of their properties on the water. That's where they spend their money with their landscaping and their chicky huts and their pools. So it's great experience.
Perfect. Thanks, Steve. For our audience here, you guys can, wherever you are watching in the YouTube or social media platform or LinkedIn, make a comment here, and Steve and I will be available to answer any question you have. You can find Steve at Steve Conley. It's Steve. Last name is Conley. You can find him all over the social media, Google, and then for me, Shawn Bhakta. We are here to help you guys.
Don't forget to go to the website right there. If you want to actually look at homes, see what's available, just go to FloridaKeysTeam.com website, and we've got a beautiful website there. You're free to look around and see what exactly is available here, and do your visiting to the Keys on our website before you actually make a trip down, and you'll learn quite a bit just from the website about the market.
Okay. What's the website address, Steve?
It's FloridaKeysTeam.com.
Okay, that's
the name of our team.
Florida Keys with the S team.com.
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, that's good. Thanks, Steve. Thanks again for joining today and giving all those insights. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Shawn. Pleasure. It's good to see you again.
Okay, take care. Bye.